Sex Talk.
Hi.
Hi, welcome to the Sex Talk. I'm Jenoa.
And I'm Mo. Today we're going to talk about when we don't feel in love anymore.
Right, and we are talking specifically about a newer relationship from, 2 months to 2 years, 3 years, and suddenly the shine has worn the thing dull, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that mean? What to do? All of those things.
Right. And so I think we're going to touch on a couple of different things. The first one is kind of like the love addiction issue, where we see a lot of people when the excitement fades away and the romance and the passion goes to the wayside, then, people are like, this person isn't the right person for me, and I'm going to go shopping for I'm going to upgrade
new shiny
for
toy.
a new shiny, the next version.
And the something to remember is that is a totally normal, natural cycle. It's kind of the way we're built for some reason.
Dr. Helen Fisher says that we're built that way biologically because if we, those first few years, you're kind of like high on the love hormones that we always talk about, and they make you sort of feel like you're on cocaine.
Right, and then you make babies.
Right. And so her theory is that that's so that, it fades so that we can actually raise those babies.
So we're not high as fuck raising babies.
So yeah, we're more
so
stable.
You don't leave the baby over there so
right.
that you could be with your partner.
Right.
So you actually focus on the baby.
And I think that's an important thing to recognize. Like, if, let's say, during that love exciting phase, you had a baby together, or you got married, or you moved in together, or whatever, and now you're together, and what kind of determines the fact whether or not you're going to stay with this person?
Right. And yeah.
So if you and your partner have a lot of stuff in common, like you go bowling together, or you've got this great group of friends and you guys always have barbecues, or you're into photography together or travel, then you're more likely to be able to work to the next phase of the relationship. But if you don't have a lot of things in common,
except for lust,
then there might not be anything to push this relationship into the next stage.
Right. So a question that you might be forced to examine right now is, do we have basic compatibility as well? Do we have things in common, but do we want the same things in life? Also, are there things about this person that I really appreciate and love, and who is this person, and what are some of the things besides all the excitement and the great sex that drew me to them in the first place? And this is a time when you can really get to examine that and figure out where you want to go further.
Right. And I think it's important to recognize that, yes, it is going to change. And if you guys are ready to go into the next phase of the relationship, then that's great. But sometimes I often recommend people to actually have like a ceremonial thing, like saying goodbye to those, because it's not going to be like it used to be. Even if you guys have a great relationship and there's a lot of love and passion and camaraderie and common interests, it's probably not going to be that crazy lusty that it was in the first 3 years.
Right.
So it's important to recognize that your relationship will change. And then going further and further along, every few years, that's going to happen. So your relationship's going to look different from 2 years to how it looks at 5 or 6 years to how it looks at 12, 13 years. And I think it's important to recognize also that there is this kind of mythological view that we have as a society, the happily ever after.
It's like a romance myth that you're going to be romantically in love with one person for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't happen, then you failed.
Right.
Or
that you need to start looking elsewhere because this person
that's
isn't
not the one. You thought they were the one, but they're not.
But they're not. And so then we get into this cycle of you're in a relationship for 3 years, break up, 3 years, break up, 2 years, break up.
Or in my 20s, 3 months break up, 3 months break up, 3 months break up.
Yeah, which is fine. I think, when you're young and you're not ready to settle down, it's all about getting high on love drugs.
Yeah, I did that a lot.
And learning, because you're more likely to repeat patterns. You're more likely to repeat patterns from your childhood. So it's a good opportunity to look at yourself. But if you find your place in a relationship with somebody that you really care about and you think this could be something long lasting, but it doesn't feel as exciting anymore, then
don't write it off.
Don't write it off, exactly. Look at it as maybe it's time to take a turn in the relationship and go down a new path with the same person and look at it in a completely different new light.
And also, maybe there's a new level of intimacy that you can find with this person
Yeah.
that will reignite a different kind of spark and a different kind of passion. And long-term relationships, they do have passion in them. It's just, it looks different. And so this might be something that you do as a couple to find out what that looks like for you two.
Yep.
And I think really being honest with each other about the state of flux that maybe your passion is in is so important to grow that intimacy, so that everybody can talk about their feelings about it and mourn it,
Right.
or focus on it and just get real about it.
Well, and I think that's why a lot of times people renew their vows. You know, it's a joint way of saying, hey, you know, we haven't given up on this relationship. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we don't do like we used to do before, but we still love each other and care about each other, and we want to do this, move forward together. So have a ceremony together.
Yeah. Restart from a different place, because you are different now.
Yeah.
And things are different.
Yeah.
And also you know more.
Yeah.
So honestly, the second time is more meaningful because you have more information about, and then, oh, actually I still want to be with you and do this, even though it looks different.
And I have to say that renewing your vows is one way of doing it, but I think that another way of doing it could be however you want to do it. Like, for example, if you have a bunch of pictures around your house and they're old, you and your partner together, like, put them in a box, like, say goodbye to those. These are going into the garage for now, or going into storage for now, because we've got new pictures that we want to put up. So, you know, just maybe having some sort of way of acknowledging it together.
Yeah, you're doing a thing in the physical world to acknowledge sort of an emotional life that you're having with this person.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah, so I think talking about it, well, getting real about where you are first in your own experience, talking about it with your partner, seeing where you are together, and then make something beautiful out of where you are.
Yeah. Accept your relationship for where it's at
Let
today.
the old stuff go.
Just because it's not like it used to be. Oh, it used to be this. She used to bring me flowers. She used to, what, you know.
She hardly talks to me anymore when I walk through the door at the end of the day.
Well, we'll bring that up in the next episode, but that might be emotional abuse.
Baby, I remember. Yes, okay.
Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, I think that was it. That's the sex talk.
That was the sex talk.
The sex talk.